Hey guys, Omni here. We are back for episode 3 of season 4 of Cobra Kai, and we got some new characters in the last round. We got Kenny, who's a newcomer to the area. Little does he know, things are a little weird around here. And it looks like he is kind of in a younger age set here, and it puts him at odds with somebody I didn't actually think they'd ever make an actual character, Anthony LaRusso. They go to the same school. And Anthony, obviously we've seen some changes in the background with him the few times he's shown up since season 1 where, he loved his food, he loved his video games, he was a little bit of a spoiled brat, and by a little bit, I'm kind of being really light on the little bit. He was a douche, man. And we've seen him come back in a few key scenes in the last season, and then now we've seen him back and actually in a more prominent way. He's lost plenty of weight, and a little bit of this growth that we've seen in the background, which I wish we could have seen like in the foreground a little bit, that he's kind of, at least in his social life, hid that part of his life. He's tried to become one of the cool kids. He's pretends to not know anything about video games. He's trying to hide the nerdiness of himself, just fit in. Very similar to Sam's plot, honestly, when we kicked off season 1, actually. And I'm curious to see where that goes, because there's some hesitation, because the kids that he's made friends with, similarly to Sam, are not the best, and the peer pressure and the want to fit in is overriding any of his morals, which was surprising that we discovered that he had any. Maybe I'm just too hard on this kid. It's just every time he popped up, he was just like a little punk in season 1 and then throughout. So it's not surprising that he would fall into a crowd similar to that, but he does have like some restraint, some doubts, some conflict about them wanting to bully this new kid. And I'm wondering where that's going to go. But it does push him to kind of reach out to his brother, who I thought was dead, but when we got to the end of the episode, no, it was even better surprise. It was the same guy that was giving Robby crap when he was locked up at juvie. And this is Kenny's older brother. And he's like, because Robby and him throughout their little bonding trip through that lockup period have kind of gotten a little closer. And he's like, hey, you're getting bullied at school? They know karate? Hey, I have a hookup for you. And I called it throughout the episode. This kid's going to go to Cobra Kai. And he's like, I know a guy who can help you with karate problems, and is going to send him over to Robby. That was a nice little way to wrap things back in. Meanwhile, throughout the entire episode, though, Johnny and Daniel, for the kids, are trying to figure out how to work together. So they start to teach one another their ways. We start off with Johnny learning Miyagi-Do. He gets frustrated, as we assume he would. And as Daniel explains the philosophy, explains some of the history and stuff like that, he actually opens up and gives into it. Does get frustrated when he slips up on the balancing board, but still, he gives it all. The next day, it's Daniel's turn. And Johnny puts him through the ringer, but it's a bonding experience that they come out of it on the other side. And then to kind of push that lesson even further, Johnny takes him to a hockey game where he incites a conflict with one of the players and blames Daniel for all this stuff that he's been saying about this player to start a fight in real life. And the guy who's like recognized who he is, talks shit about his wife, and then he fires up and Daniel strikes first and he lays them all out. Meanwhile, Johnny just abandoned him completely, which I loved it because I called back to a lesson that he had learned earlier when he was like, the best defense, Miyagi used to say, the best defense is no be there. And Johnny went to get a pretzel and came back after Daniel had cleaned up the fight. He was like, hey, good job. He was like, where were you? No be there. I loved it. So snarky. Meanwhile, also Amanda tried to confront Tory and give her a little bit of an ultimatum, but that backfired, got Tory fired from her job because she got riled up by Miss LaRusso coming in there and doing what she did, and now she's got no job to feed her family. And now Amanda learned a little bit of what Tory's life's actually like and feels a little bit bad about it, but had the opposite effect, and now Tory's probably going to go even harder. So that all down and out of the way. This is a little bit of a crazy wrap up, so I'm sorry, guys. I know we'll go ahead and get into this. So if you want to see the full-length reaction to this, make sure to check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member here on the channel, gets you access as well. Just sync up your own footage with the time code, and you can see my reaction to the entire episode. It's one of the ways you can help support us over here on the channel, help us do what we do, and work towards expanding some of the things that we cover here on the channel. I want to get into maybe some other shows that you guys have been wanting me to check out, or maybe dive more into movie reactions. Just watch Die Hard for the first time. Check that reaction out. It's on the channel right now. But yeah, of course, I know not everybody can do that, but another way is just by liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing the videos, giving them the engagement, because YouTube will see that and share it with more people. That down and out of the way, guys, let's go ahead and dive into episode 3. Here we go. I don't know what that was, so don't ask. Yes. Dude, I'm loving this, man. They just needed to give each other some time. Ooh. Slap. Aww. Are you... Oh, nice, man.
You sure you got enough meat on this pizza there, Johnny?
There's 4 different animals on top. That's a man's pizza.
What the hell are you doing here?
Who the hell are you? Wait, are you the son? What'd you do, switch over to Whopper Juniors?
Let's go to Grossford. Dipshit.
Still a piece of crap.
Hey, kid.
She decides to go to school nearby, maybe get her MBA, USC, UCLA, I'm just saying. Like to go to Stanford.
We're also thinking about Santa Monica College, right, Miguel? Save some money, live at home.
Getting a little High School Musical 3 feelings here.
For breakfast, I have prepared something special.
Oh.
Anything you need, I'm there for you. Your whole life. You hear me, Johnny?
Mr. Sever?
Huh? Sorry. I think I'm gonna skip breakfast today. I'm just gonna go for a little ride, clear my head.
Man, I love how they kind of have added so many layers to these characters, man. He's always behind people.
I'm looking for Robby Keene.
Mr. Keene, you have a visitor.
My brother Champagne said you could help me.
We have to fight our own battles. Cobra Kai can teach you how, but you have to prove that you're worthy. Take your shoes off and get on the mat.
This kid's such a Miyagi-Do. We'll see. We'll see where this goes.
You should have heard the way that Miss LaRusso was talking about Sam's future. I can't even afford a car, let alone college. What if they start to think I'm not good enough for her?
Dude. Just show Mr. LaRusso what you're made of. I know you're gonna crush.
I definitely don't think they care about any of that.
I know you've all been taught to strike first. What do you do when your opponent is faster than you? Today's lesson is simple. Catch a fish. Your bare hands are all you use and all you need. On your mark, get set.
I love this shit, man.
God, I'm tired of being right.
But an eagle's hungry, doesn't wait around for a fish to jump at its feet.
Talons.
It's not talent, it's instinct.
Oh, Johnny.
If you want to beat Cobra Kai in the All Valley, you gotta break yourself of this wait and see crap.
And how exactly are we gonna do that?
You're gonna jump from this roof to that one.
What?
That building is like 5 nates away and we're at least 14 nates high.
Please don't use me as a system of measurement.
We're not leaving until someone jumps. Let's go. I'll wait.
Then I guess you'll be waiting a long time, because we're not jumping.
I don't know, man. That gap looked a lot farther once they got up to it. So I'm not even sure, unless you're like a long jumper, you'd get that.
How am I supposed to fight if I haven't had any training yet?
To be a Cobra Kai, you have to have a killer instinct.
Don't worry, man. Go easy on you.
Go back on the mat. Roll some pews. Let's go. Come on.
Come on, Kenny.
All right, I've seen enough. We don't have time for losers or cowards.
What? Are you okay? Okay. Yeah, I'll just got you new bro.
Everything okay?
My mom's just having some car troubles.
What kind of trouble? Can I help?
Oh, no, it's not that big a deal. She's calling a tow truck.
I know what those jackals charge. Let me call one of my guys. We'll bring it in.
That's not necessary.
Miguel, I do this for a living. Let me help. Come on, I'll give you a ride to the garage.
Dude gets 2 dads.
All right, what's the problem, LaRusso? Don't tell me you're scared of heights.
My dad wouldn't want us doing this.
You do everything your mommy and daddy tell you to do. They told you to jump off a bridge, would you?
You're telling him.
to jump off a building.
Yeah, onto another building. I know what I'm doing.
Do you? Because based on your track record, you don't have the best judgment.
You want to talk judgment? How about smashing into my Firebird?
I'm a teenager who's made a couple of mistakes. You're a 50-something-year-old man who lives alone, drinks all day, and clearly hasn't figured out his own life.
I figured out one thing for sure. If I did everything my parents wanted me to do, I'd be wearing a suit and tie in some worthless job while I wait out the clock. But I didn't want that. And now I get to do what I love every damn day. I get to try to help kids like you find their own way. If you want to sit in the backseat your whole life, go right ahead.
That's what it was getting at her. That's what it was. Their expectations of her was what was getting at her at the table with the talk about school, her taking over the dealership, and maybe she doesn't even really have an idea of where or what she wants to do. While Miguel's got an idea already. He's already got a school lined up, and there he is.
I was living a perfectly happy life, and you had to go mess with my head.
Is that why you're here? To tell me how wonderful your life is? You're just an old man in the last chapter of his life, clinging to some bullshit happy ending.
Why couldn't you let sleeping dogs lie?
Dude, he's such a good actor, man.
Hundreds of other senses
Both
in
of
the
them.
valley that could help you win your little war.
There is no one in the world I trust more than you. You miss this, don't you?
I don't miss a goddamn thing.
Bullshit. I can see it in your eyes. Afraid you're a little rusty? Not bad.
I shouldn't have come back here.
You know, not all the memories were bad, but the ones that were, we got through them together.
Man, this mind game. I fucking love it.
Thanks. So, how's Sean?
Is he going to tutor him on the side? Or send him to Miyagi? Oh my god.
Oh my god.
How'd that not leak out of that? Those lockers don't seal that well, man. I know.
All right, Val.
Robby has a good heart, man. He's just like everything. Just the cards don't always fall in the right place for him, and it's pushed him.
Ready? Fight.
And especially when the miscommunications and the misrepresentation of what everybody else has been trying to do. It's just a rough way to go.
You know, I'm not sure that I buy that you're Sean's brother.
Well, Sean was always big and strong, okay? All I can do is run.
Then use that. Instead of using your speed to run away from your enemies, use it to run at them. Come on, let's try it again. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Ready? Bow.
When I get done with you, who knows? You might have a few billboards of your own someday.
I don't know if they make billboards for guys going to community college.
I didn't even go to college.
Really?
Yep.
My mom scrimped and saved. Any spare cash she had, she put in a jar. She called it the Daniel Fund.
And he blew it all on Miyagi.
I blew the entire fund on a round-trip ticket to Okinawa. Thanks to a little ice-breaking contest, I came back with more money than I left with.
So you used that to invest in the dealership?
Nope.
Oh, I blew that on a bonsai tree store. Don't even ask. You see, my path wasn't a straight line. And yours is still being written. In Miyagi-Do, when an opponent comes swinging at you, you always respond in a circular motion. Life's like that, too. You could reach any goal you want. It just might mean taking the circular path. You have a good head on your shoulders. I know you can make it happen.
I love that. Oh, I love that so much. That little line, that's what she needed.
You all failed. Grab your crap and let's go.
It looks like you got what you wanted.
Oh, another ring. Right back to what Robby had said. Got what you wanted. Tying back to all this shit. God damn.
Nice move, LaRusso.
It's really got in his head.
I like it.
I told you. You'll like this too. It's called the All Valley Under-18 Tournament. I entered Cobra Kai. Why?
It's my father. He wants me to take over his company. He said if I don't do what he says, he's cutting me out of the inheritance. No, I can still pay my half of the rent. Even more. I just won't be able to be there with you.
Yeah, but I can't do this without
My father wants me to put all this karate in Vietnam behind me, but I don't know if I can ever go back to a normal life.
Remember, fear does not exist. You can get through anything. Because you got me. I didn't leave you behind in the war. And I'm not gonna leave you behind now.
Cobra Kai?
Never dies. Never dies.
Oh, it's so fucking good. And he's transforming back.
When an eagle's hungry, doesn't hesitate.
Oh, is he just gonna bust in and be like, "Hey, Carmen. Oh, please don't be with another dude."
I want to talk about this now with you. Your mom.
Okay, much better.
You know what? I don't care they can hear this. Carmen, when it comes to us, I can't sit in the back seat any longer. Look, I know there's a lot of shit to figure out, but we'll figure it out together. I don't know if they got all that. You want to translate?
Okay.
Yeah?
Now tell Miguel.
Do that all day.
Oh, round 2.
Look at him running to mommy.
Take your spot.
How do they make it look so easy on hillbilly hand fishing?
I have an idea. Follow my lead. Walk in a circle.
Hey, it's working. They're going under the board.
We have a winner. Good job, Miguel.
Remember, if you get put in a scary situation, you don't back down. Gotta grow a pair of legs.
What the hell?
Come on, Johnny. Don't get it. Don't do it. Don't do it, Johnny. Don't get jealous over that. You know how this works, how this is going. It's initiation. There's a process. There's a tradition. We talked about this last episode. Can't get your claws out of my chair. Oh, that was a banger episode, man. All the bonding coming around, the splitting of the classes, the mixing of the philosophies. I really, really enjoyed that, especially like the stuff that didn't have to do with the karate as well, with Miguel and Sam coming up to this point where they got to figure out what to do. You know, Sam's lived this life of that's been guarded, that's kind of been laid out before her, and like even like they've said, like, you know, here like Daniel spouting off all the things that they've talked about that she could possibly do, and kind of like laying things out before her, not really letting her define her own path in a way that she doesn't really, but she's also kind of uncertain, it seems like, because Miguel, even he doesn't have the means or anything like that, but he has like an idea of where he wants to go. He wants to go to Stanford, but of course his mom's like, we can't really afford that. Maybe state college would be better. Daniel just tries to help him with that. So like, it's like, Miguel has an idea of what he wants to do. She has no idea. And meanwhile, they're having the opposite effect. Like Daniel's trying to like propel her into these ideas, while Miguel's mother is trying to, you know, pull him down from his aspirations. Like maybe Daniel's shooting too high for what Sam wants to do with her life, and maybe I don't know, but we kind of saw that parallel play out between them, like how things are being decided. You know, she's always kind of played it safe, and I love that Johnny challenged Sam about that, and especially when she got that text from her dad who's like, hey, don't do anything I wouldn't do, and she's like, fuck it, I'm jumping. So I like that, and especially the stuff that Daniel was like, you know, from Miguel's eyes, he's still learning about Daniel. Like, he doesn't really know his history, so like he assumes in a lot of ways that, you know, he came from money, or he went to college, or he did all these A to B to C things that people always tell you is how you get to success. But he didn't. He had a small college fund, blew that on Miyagi's trip to Okinawa. He made more money back from that, from winning the ice competition, blew that on his father figure's dream by buying that bonsai store for him. Like he dodged the whole college thing. That was one of the main points of the film at the time, was what was he going to do next? And he was more into being an entrepreneur, doing something for himself and all that, being with Miyagi and helping him. And they worked that store, and that eventually, in his love of cars, propelled him to open his dealership. Like there's not always a straight path. And I like that because it ties back into Miyagi-Do and the way that they operate, their philosophy of, you know, interacting, counteracting, perceiving, and following this circular path. And sometimes it's the roundabout way. I mean, it took me a long time to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. I had a lot of ideas. Definitely didn't take the straight path to anything. But it just kind of happens for some people. And you just got to find the flow. Go with the flow and find what makes you happy. Find what you're good at. And don't just kind of follow the expectations of everybody else. And I like that. It's like this bonding mechanism here. And then Johnny using that, his own lesson, to kind of build up the courage to just kind of go head on with Carmen. And we got that whole ordeal out of the way, which is nice. And then Terry juggling with these seeds that Kreese implanted in his mind was just so expertly crafted. What I really liked about season 3 was that while they aren't changing the Kreese that we know today, they are showing us how he got to be the man he is. Adding layers, adding depth. No one is born evil, and nobody is born a bad person or anything like that. People are developed, they have these things that build them up, and Terry was just the same. And we're seeing layers that they're building for this character, and I'm sure that might demystify him a little bit for some people, but I like it a lot because it adds some depth to the pressure that he was under. You know, he was forced into taking over that company, you know, following his father's footsteps, and maybe he was ill prepared, especially with his trauma, to handle that responsibility to go into that kind of money after everything he'd been through. That he did. He buried himself not only in karate, but buried himself in the lifestyle itself, the drugs. It was a lot of coping mechanisms, because we know how that the war actually affected him. And after that massive failure in Karate Kid 3, he really took it to heart, and at some point in his life tried to turn things around, heal in a way that's not reliant on anything else, even though we see him taking some sort of pills in here. So I don't know if it's maybe for his maybe if it's health related or psychologically related, or we don't really know. I don't think it gave us a good clear picture of what it was, because I was thinking about going back and looking up and see what he's actually taking. But it's gotten to the point where it's just kind of eating at him, because he's getting these memories. He's buried that side of himself to try to just move on, live without that pain, without that trauma that comes from the war itself, and the decisions that he's made in his past to try to move past that with his therapist, with this new life, this new business direction, this new love interest of his, which he's ignoring, who's been texting him nonstop, being like, "Are you okay? I love you. Text me back, blah, blah, blah." Like, he's just not giving any of that back, and it's eating him. It's eating him to where he goes and confronts Kreese about, "You know what you did. You came in here while I was perfectly fine, and you got me with that venom. Got me thinking about it," and it's just going to build up until he comes back. And I like that. It's not like he just comes back and helps Kreese. They're adding like some build up to it, and I really enjoy that bit of it. And everything with Kenny and Robby gives him an outlet to show that Robby's still not a piece of crap. Like, he's still trying. He's only been pushed down the path that life has pushed him down, and he still has that pure heart that he's always had. It's just struggling to survive in this world, and and survival is his primary instinct. So that's what led him here. You know, he's got bad blood with people, sure. Mostly he's young. He doesn't understand what people were trying to do for him. Everything seemed like an attack, and he needed to be on the defense or on the run. But it's just the way he's been raised, and it's got him to this point. And he sees something similar in this kid. And I thought maybe, you know, because of the position he's in, and because of the kid's maybe nature, he would have maybe recommended he go to Daniel instead. But no, he's like, "I've been down that road." And he knows Miyagi-Do, so it's not like he can't teach it to him as well, but he helps him, because he's got a heart, man. Robby does have a heart, but we have all these devils on his shoulder. He's lost all of the angels on his shoulder at this point, and he's got nothing but devils between Kreese's words over his shoulder and Tory creeping in on his other ear, like we saw in the other episode. And I really like what they're doing with this and how they're building things up, because it's really, really layered, thought out, and just well written all around. Like, where I was worried about with the whole Carmen thing or whatever, I thought maybe it started getting a little too soapy, but it didn't. They dodged that bullet and went right into them mending that bridge. However, the episode did end with Johnny being a little jealous of the relationship that Daniel is forming with Miguel, which I can understand, because he's lost one kid. He's afraid of losing one, the one that he's got at the moment. But I think he just needs to understand, especially given that he's dating Daniel's daughter, they are going to be in each other's lives. It's unavoidable at this point. You're learning together, you're basically living together, and he's dating his daughter. So that relationship is going to exist. You need him to have a decent relationship with her father in the long run anyway. But his pain and his insecurities are just bubbling up to the surface. And I hope he overcomes that, because Miguel can benefit greatly from both of them, and has. So I want that relationship to continue to build Miguel up throughout all of this. And I like that Miguel was also the one to figure out the koi training thing. That was nice. Anyway, guys, what do you think of the episode? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Feel free to join our Discord. We could talk about it there as well. I know some people are already talking in the spoiler chat section, but I'm avoiding that because quite a few people have already binged to the end of it. So I can't really dive into that convo just yet, but I will eventually once I've caught up with everybody else. But yeah, come hang out, enjoy. Remember, you can check out the full-length reaction over on Patreon, or if you become a member here on the channel, gets you access as well. And speaking of, before you go, I want to shout out our channel legends: Mandy Sherritt, Ryan Karen, Jason Coleman, Philly Vane, Yori Korskov, Margaret Grace, Mary Bradley, Jeffrey Hale, and Nate Prouty. Thank you guys so much for your support. And yeah, another one down, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Cobra Kai never dies. Take care, everybody.